All right, so we're here in London at the Sony event, taking a look at several games, and one of the ones we have tried out is Bloodborne. What do you think of it, Mike?
Well, I think I'm pretty bad at it. I think it's fair to say that I suck at Bloodborne, but as to be expected, I sucked at Dark Souls as well. So
And most games.
thanks.
No, we got to play the part that was out in alpha. If people played that, got to talk to the designer as well.
Yeah, we got to talk to Miyazaki-san and ask him a few questions. In fact, we asked him. Well, we were supposed to ask him one question, but it ended up being several. The fruits of those answers will be in the preview that will be appearing on the site if it's not already.
Yeah.
But yes, I mean the impressions of the game are basically positive. We played stuff that's already been played, which you can see on Gamereactor already. But on top of that, we found out a bit more about the new procedurally generated levels, and they sound really interesting, don't they?
Yeah, and more about the multiplayer stuff as well.
Sharing these procedurally generated worlds, so you can build these new maps and then lock them down and then share those maps with other people, borrowing elements from roguelikes, which is, for someone who really enjoys a roguelike, it's quite an interesting development. And it sounds like they're trying to find a balance between roguelike ideas, but they were quite keen to stress that it wasn't a roguelike.
Yeah.
But it's not, because there's a lot of restarts in that. Imagine Dark Souls or Bloodborne as a roguelike with permadeath.
Yeah, that would be proper hardcore.
Yeah, that would be. Yeah.
But it's like Bloodborne is still a game like you would expect from software, but it's nice to see that they're trying new stuff and doing something different, and I think so far it looks promising.
Yeah, it is similar, but it is different. It's got the I really like the kind of Victorian-esque architecture and the setting. I mean, there's quite a few Victorian kind of things coming around. We had a look at another game that we're going to talk about later, which was Victorian, and then obviously Assassin's Creed, London, Victorian, that's just been announced. So, Victorian seems to be in vogue at the moment, but the setting's really nice. Visually, it looks really good. It's dark and gothic, but there's enough differences there between what we've seen with the Souls series. And then, as we were talking about earlier, the emphasis on stun rather than block.
Yeah.
That is a game changer.
And it is a little bit, that does change it, and the gameplay in general is a little bit faster than the Souls games have been. And I think the way you start out choosing also, the character you play with here and the one I preferred when I played it was the sort of faster one, but you can still choose a slower character with the hammer instead.
Huge expletive hammer.
Yeah. And they talked about in the presentation that one of the bosses they were fighting there in the procedural area was one where the character we saw got help from a different hunter that had a weapon that was better for that boss. So in that way, it will sort of influence the gameplay as well.
It does open things up, doesn't it?
Yeah. All right, that's it for Bloodborne. Remember to check out Mike's preview on it and all the other stuff coming out of this event.
And so the nightly hunt begins.